Welcome, respected friends. First and foremost, let us extend our prayerful gratitudes to all the powers, the Shaktis, all the blessings working from within, working from without, outside, because our home is most divine, sacred, seven sadhanas we are able to do every day as an our humble offering to the Lord. But for that Krupa, for that Karuna, but for that blessings, this way relentlessly we can never do. Whoever are the Shaktis in the form of the various Devatas, the Rishis, the Munis, the Guru, all of them let us humbly prostrate at their feet and thank them, ask them to bless us continuously because this is only a beginning. We are just at the toddler levels. We have to scale great heights in doing and also experiencing the results of these sadhanas and spread this Sanatana Dharma, Vedika Samskriti, Adhyatmika Jivana all over the cosmos because that is the only solution for all the confusions, chaos at the individual and total inner and outer level. Having saluted them, salutations to you too, welcoming you all, hearty congratulations, congratulations, wishes and prayers. Here we are, our seven sadhanas to invoke the Parabrahma Ishvara Jagannatha Devatagana Gurugana Shastragana Kripa, so that we are conscious about our Vyaktitva Vikasam, and also with that we are conscious about how we have to be useful to this world. Same time, we are not missing the mukhya uddesha of our own adhyatmika pragati. In the seven activities, the first one is our Vedic chanting in that Atharvana Veda mantras, which we are chanting every day. Let us do the mantra today of what? Mhm. Yesterday we saw the Shapa Nivrutti mantra. Today let us learn the next again the Roga Nivarana Sukta. And today the Roga is Anuvamshika Rogas. The Rogas which come Sankramita to us because of our earlier life, we can say Anuvamshika, or Sankramita from our elders to us. I know what that word I'm not getting. That from the higher generations they come to us. The family background diseases, whichever are there, may they not affect us. Every disease should go away. We should live 100 years healthily with full energy, doing the best of the things. There's no compromise whatsoever in this thought. Hmm. Bhrugu is the Rishi, then Angiras also is the Rishi, then the Kshetriya Devatas asking them to remove all these diseases. So, Anuvamshika Roga Shanti, for that, this mantra is done the chanting every day, keeping the water in that whatever container, then sprinkling the whole water everywhere, and also making the people drink, especially if somebody has got that disease already. Okay. So, what we are saying, all the nakshatras, especially the Mula nakshatra, which is very powerful, which is the giver of the freedom from all the bondages of diseases, then have the capacity. We are asking those nakshatra devatas to free us from all the uh, rogas along with their bija. Okay, all the rogas at the top level of our sharira or the bottom, entire body gata, moolas for the roga be removed. Sankramita rogas, that as the time comes, they get expressed because we have them congenitally, we have from our earlier generations. In same way, this night I am taking good rest with proper my disciplined life lived. May this Ratri remove my diseases. So to daytime, all the Adityadi Devatas, I am remembering them. They remove all these rogas from me. So to these mantrita darbha adi, I am doing the dharana of that. May it remove all the kshetriya rogas. Kshetriya roga means which are predominant, prevalent either around our surroundings or during the seasons or because within my own body those lack of immunities are there or even Narayana Sankramita from the earlier ones. Whenever you and I talk about the Roga, we don't limit it only the Sharirika Roga. We go to even the Manasika Rogas, even the Adhyatmika Roga. The Adhyatmika Roga is not interested in satsang. What a daridra jivana that you are not interested in satsang, you are not interested in studying shastras, you are not interested in spiritually growing. लानत है उस जीवन पे भयंकर रोग cause of all the rogas शर्म करो so that spiritual roga then the psychological rogas of durgunas sharirika roga for all the nivarana of all the rogas our mantras then in the third mantra like this that's called as arjuna vruksha which is in kapila varna and it has got the shweta patras in it and another yava that stem of that particular plant, then the husk of the paddy, etc. And then tila, all of them are used and made into such a wonderful medicine given to that rogi and saying, oh rogi, don't be worried, this medicine will remove your roga. So again I am praying to this darbha grass. You are specially created in this world by the divine. You have power to remove the rogas. Therefore, we are doing the dharana of you. Then again, we are saluting the axes which are used for plowing. We are saluting all other instruments which we use for our work in the fields, etc. May they yield good crop, we have good healthy food, so that none of the diseases come to us or any of the prevalent diseases attack us. Seasonal disease होते हैं, area wise diseases होते हैं. Some places are meant for those things for various reasons. If you go to a मिर्ची यार्ड वहाँ जाते ही आपको फिर वो खांसी या लग ही जाता है because that place is like that. And we are allergic. Sometimes you go through that place where lot of flowers, pollen grains are there. Let us say the sunflower. If somebody is allergic, that will come. Nowadays, everywhere there are factories, such a terrible emissions that are very rarely you find a very pleasant, beautiful atmosphere. So everything is a hetu for the roga. May we be protected from all that. And again, this darbha, I am putting it, remove these kshetriya rogas. Kshetriya rogas is the roga which are prevalent here, which I am prone to for my own, let us say, uh, immunity lacking, etc., or carelessness, etc. Because 100% all the time, we cannot be careful about what nutrients we are taking, how every part of the body is getting what it needs, the energy, and sufficient exercise हो रहा है कि नहीं पता कभी कम कभी ज्यादा that is the only best proof that the Lord is there, that with all our indiscipline still we are alive. He is managing the show. कब खाते हैं कब सोते हैं क्या खाते हैं कितने घंटे सोते हैं किसी का कोई हिसाब ही नहीं. Isn't it? If the Lord has made a pakka rule कि ऐसा ही follow होना है. And if he says, I am not going to help, not even one human being would have survived so far. Well, none of us follow the rules, regulations. First of all, we don't know at all. गाड़ी चल रहा है because of Bhagwan. And that's why, it's not a pride to say that in India we have 33 koti devata. It is an insult. Why so many devatas required? Because we don't do anything. If we do everything, why devatas required? They can just be there up above and bless, that's all. हम निकम्मे हैं, इसलिए इतने देवताओं को आकर घसीट के सब करना पड़ता है. By the way, next one, see, we are doing salutations to the houses which gave place to live for so many human beings, etc. But now they are dilapidated. Then we salute to all the pits which are dug for either plantation or for the rivers. And the Kshetrapati who is there watching all that, salutations to him. So, in this way, again, without forgetting, we are remembering this darbha which we are wearing, that it is a Roga Nivaraka, may it take care of us. In the same way, all the great farmers who have become old now, cannot have the ability to walk, cannot have the vision to see, to them our great gratitude salutations. That in their prime age, they have utilized their entire life to serve us through those what you call farming, etc. Our salutations to all the Sukshma Shaktis around, which are unseen but continuously blessing us. Kshetrapalaka, our Namaskara. And also again to this Darbha, our Namaskara. So in this way, the Kshetra Namaskara, Kshetra Palaka Namaskara, Tatra Sthita Devata Namaskara. Then all the instruments are saluted. Then the human beings who have, made the energy giving things produced, they are saluted. This is how, in the Vedic way, they were so clear in their subtlest, sharpest, purest intellect, that who are the causes of our life sustenance, our happiness. So they were without any ego to acknowledge it, extend the gratitudes, and praying continuously to keep on blessing and do the due from their side. Very intelligent they were. So much intelligent that they never lost themselves in bhoga. They were always in yoga only. The highest intelligence is the ability to get out of the bhoga and enter into the yoga. All our Indians, Hindus, Sanatan Dharmi means yogi. Karma yogi, bhakti yogi, jnana yogi, ashtanga yogi, paramatma yogi. Nobody is bhogi. Now we are all nonsense doing that. Then Om Atha Atharvana Vedantargata Roga Nivaraka Suktam Om Udagatam Bhagavati Om Udagatam Bhagavati Vishrutau Namatarake Vishrutau Namatarake Vikshetriyasya Munchatam Vikshetriyasya Munchatam Adhamam Pashamuttamam Adhamam Pashamuttamam Om Udagatam Bhagavati Vichritau Namatarake Vikshetriyasya Munchatamadhamam Pashamuttamam Om Udagatam Bhagavati Vichritau Namatarake Vikshetriyasya Munchatamadhamam Pashamuttamam Om Udagatam Bhagavati Vichritau Namatarake Vikshetriyasya Munchatamadhamam Pashamuttamam. Second, Apeyam Ratruchyatvapo Apeyam Ratruchyatvapo Uchvanta Vikrutvarihi Uchvanta Vikrutvarihi Virutkshetriyanashanyava Virutkshetriyanashanyapa Kshetriyamucchato Kshetriyamucchato अभेयं रात्र्युच्यतपोच्चस्त्वभिकृत्वरीः वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशन्यभक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु अपेयं भ्रातृच्यत्वपोच्चस्त्वभिकृत्वरीः वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशन्यपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु थर्ड बभ्रोरर्जुनकाण्डस्य बभ्रोरर्जुनकाण्डस्य यवस्यते यवस्यते पलाल्यां पलाल्या तिलस्य तिलस्य तिलपिञ्जा तिलपिञ्जा वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशनी वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशनी अपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु अपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु बभ्रोरर्जुनकाण्डस्य यवस्यते पलाल्या तिलस्य तिलपिञ्ज्या वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशन्यवक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु बभ्रोरर्जुनकाण्डस्य यवस्यते पलाल्या तिलस्य तिलपिञ्ज्या वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशन्यपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु बभ्रोरर्जुनकाण्डस्य यवस्यते फलाल्या तिलस्य तिलपिञ्जा वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशन्यवक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु फोर्थ नमस्ते लाङ्गलेभ्यो नमस्ते लाङ्गलेभ्यो नम ईशायुगेभ्यः नम ईशायुगेभ्यः वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशनी वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशनी अपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु अपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु नमस्ते लाङ्गलेभ्यो नम ईशायुगेभ्यः वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशनी अपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु नमस्ते लाङ्गलेभ्यो नम ईशायुगेभ्यः वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशन्यपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु लास्ट वन नमः सनिस्रसाक्षेभ्यो नमः सनिस्रसाक्षेभ्यो नमः सन्देश्येभ्यः नमः सन्देश्येभ्यः नमः क्षेत्रस्य पतये नमः क्षेत्रस्य पतये वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशनी वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशनी अपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु अपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु नमः सनिस्रसाक्षेभ्यो नमः सन्देशेभ्यः नमः क्षेत्रस्य पतये वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशनी अपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु नमः सनिस्रसाक्षेभ्यो नमः सन्देश्येभ्यः नमः क्षेत्रस्य पतये वीरुत् क्षेत्रियनाशन्यपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतु ओम शांति शांति शांति. Just imagine a day led by us. We have thoroughly mastered all these mantras, ability to chant them with the swaras, Swashtarupena, with the meaning behind the tens and hundreds and thousands and lakhs and crores of all we, the Hindu Sanatan Dharmi, and all beings are daily for half an hour, 1 hour, you know, chanting these powerful divine invoking mantras for the safety, security of all good people. How would be the atmosphere, inner and outer? For that to happen, these are the seeds we are sowing here. Wherein a day will come where the whole country wakes up at morning 3, 4 and do their morning upasanas, dhyana, then sit for that half an hour of Vedocharana or 1 hour, wherein the entire divinity who is neglected now is invoked with the power of which all the rogas of Sharira, Mana, Dhyatmika go away and we live such a healthy life at all levels of our personality that every moment there is bubbling joy, there is a celebration of doing the best, reaching the best. They are not mere words. We are looking for those days to come. Just imagine like you and I, 3-4 लोग बैठे पूरा देश ही जागृत होकर बैठकर ऐसा वेद मंत्र पढ़ रहे मानो क्या मस्त सीन रहता है. Think about it. These are the visions we have to have and send those thoughts to this universe. They'll be caught. Our contribution at this level is sending the subtle thoughts, sending the subtle sankalpas, positive, invigorating, inspiring the whole world. At the gross level, we may not have the opportunities as well as abilities to perform. Depending on the abilities are the opportunities. But the subtle level, in our own meditational chamber, in our own place, wherever we can keep on. I to visualize that. There, the Upanishad mantras chanted all over the universe. The Veda mantras chanted, the Purana Itihasas chanted, and everywhere, nothing but Adhyatmikata, nothing but Adhyatmikata. Everybody is in that Sarva Dharma Karanam, Sarva Dharman Parityajya, Mamekam Sharanam Vraja Karanam. At that level, all jivas are there. Wow. Think big that way for the entire world. That is required today to counter all the negative thinkings done by the immature people, by the ignorant people. There's nothing we can get by just cursing them, insulting them, thinking bad about them. They don't know. The job of those who know is to have the sympathy and stand by an example in doing what's right. ॐ अथ अथर्वणवेदान्तर्गत रोगनिवारकसूक्तम् ॐ उदगातां भगवते विश्रुतौ नाम तारके विक्षेत्रियस्य मुञ्चतामधमं पाशमुत्तमम् अपेयं भ्रातृच्यत्वपोच्चन्त्वभिकृत्वरी अपेयं रातृच्यत्वपोच्छ्वन्थभिकृत्वरीः वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशन्यपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतो बभ्रोरर्जुनकाण्डस्य यवस्य ते पलाल्यातिलस्य तिलपिञ्जा वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशन्यपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतो नमस्ते लाङ्गलेभ्यो नम ईशायुगेभ्यः वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशन्यपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतो नमः सनिस्रसाक्षेभ्यो नमः सन्देश्येभ्यः नमः क्षेत्रस्य पतये वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशन्यपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतो ॐ शान्तिः 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 वन्स् मोर् ॐ उदगातां भगवते विश्रुतौ नाम तारके विक्षेत्रियस्य मुञ्चतामधमं पाशमुत्तमम् अपेयं भ्रातृच्चत्वपोच्चन्त्वभिकृत्वरीः वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशन्यपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतो बभ्रोरर्जुनकाण्डस्य यवस्य ते पलाल्यातिलस्य तिलपिञ्जा वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशन्यपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतो नमस्ते लाङ्गलेभ्यो नम ईशायुगेभ्यः वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशन्यपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतो नमः सनिस्रसाक्षेभ्यो नमः सन्देश्येभ्यः नमः क्षेत्रस्य पतये वीरुत्क्षेत्रियनाशन्यपक्षेत्रियमुच्यतो ॐ शान्तिः 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 Done. The first aspect of our Vedic chanting. Today also we have accomplished. Every day new mantras we are learning. That's all divine blessings. Travel in that. Many times we have to count the blessings and be in that joy and feel humble at the feet of those who are blessing us and feel that self-respect that something good is there in us because of which we are deserving it and become more responsible to become more deserving to be blessed more and more. Today, in our second mantra Ucharana class, we will be chanting which mantra? Devi mantras we are learning now. Today, let us do Krishna Vasudeva Sapta Shrungi Mata Gayatri. After this Mahishasradi Mardana, the mother went and stationed at the Saptashrunga Parvata Shreni, available for the rishis, munis, bhaktas for worshipping her. So the Durga Mata alone in one form is Saptashrungi Mata. Some of us may not know, but in some states of our India, this mother is worshipped with fervor, devotion. In this form, the mother is worshipped with all devotions, with lots of upasanas, etc. Saptashrungi Devi, Saptashrungi, very many Vedic mantras also are there. So she is none other than the Adi Parashakti only. Hmm. She is in that mainly the Sahyadri, Saptashrungi mountains there. So the people of Maharashtra and all know more about her. We also know. So Durga Mata, who is none other than Adi Parashakti Mata, who is none other than uh, Paramatma's Maya Shakti, who is never away from Paramatma. Her we are knowing Vidmahe, we are worshipping and meditating Dhimahi, ardently praying Prachodaya. Okay, the mantra is Om Adi Shaktiyai cha Vidmahe Purna Pithayai cha Dhimahi. Adi Shaktiyai cha Dhimahe, she is the Adi Parashakti, from whom the entire universe has come. Purna Pithayai cha Dhimahi, the one is fully established again in supporting the universe projected, created by her. Tanno Saptashrungi Prachodayat, who is there for our availability in the Saptashrunga Kshetra. Physically, let us go and worship her there. In the mind, you can go anywhere and worship. That also has equally powerful effect. All the time you cannot go to Char Dham, but once you go and remember in your own heart, all the time you cannot go to the DJ, the Dwadasha Jyotirlingas. But once you have seen, seated in your own heart, all the time you can't go to physically the Ashtadasha Shakti Pitha. But in your own heart, you can make place for those great Devatas to come and stay. Please recognize these possibilities, have faith in them, and start doing it. Thus, our own individuality should become an abode of all the divinity. That is our goal. No need to feel shy about it. No need to feel the impossibility about it. No, it's our duty. Every one of us should have become an embodiment for the divine to stay and express. Okay. Om Adi Shakti cha Vidmahe Purna Pithayai cha Dhimahi Tanno Saptashrungi Prachodayat. Om Adi Shakti cha Vidmahe Purna Pithayai cha Dhimahi Tanno Saptashrungi Prachodayat. Om Adi Shakti cha Vidmahe Purna Pithayai cha Dhimahi तन्नो सप्तशृंगी प्रचोदयात् ओम आदिशक्त्यै च विद्महे पूर्णपीठायै च धीमहि तन्नः सप्तशृंगी प्रचोदयात् ओम आदिशक्त्यै च विद्महे पूर्णपीठायै च धीमहि तन्नः सप्तशृंगी प्रचोदयात् ओम आदिशक्त्यै च विद्महे पूर्णपीठायै च धीमहि तन्नः सप्तशृंगी प्रचोदयात् ओम आदिशक्त्यै च विद्महे पूर्णपीठायै च धीमहि तन्नः सप्तशृंगी प्रचोदयात्. Remember and pray to that mother, O mother, wherever you are, I am saluting you. Now come and establish in my heart, and I am here worshipping, meditating, praying. ॐ आदिशक्त्यै च विद्महे पूर्णपीठायै च धीमहि तन्नः सप्तशृंगी प्रचोदयात् ॐ आदिशक्त्यै च विद्महे पूर्णपीठायै च धीमहि तन्नः सप्तशृंगी प्रचोदयात् ॐ आदिशक्त्यै च विद्महे पूर्णपीठायै च धीमहि तन्नः सप्तशृंगी प्रचोदयात् ॐ आदिशक्त्यै च विद्महे पूर्णपीठायै च धीमहि तन्नः सप्तशृंगी प्रचोदयात् ॐ आदिशक्त्यै च विद्महे पूर्णपीठायै च धीमहि तन्नः सप्तशृंगी प्रचोदयात् ॐ आदिशक्त्यै च विद्महे पूर्णपीठायै च धीमहि तन्नः सप्तशृंगी प्रचोदयात् ॐ आदिशक्त्यै च विद्महे पूर्णपीठायै च धीमहि तन्नः सप्तशृङ्गी प्रचोदयात्। ॐ आदिशक्त्यै च विद्महे पूर्णपीठायै च धीमहि तन्नः सप्तशृङ्गी प्रचोदयात्। ॐ आदिशक्त्यै च विद्महे पूर्णपीठायै च धीमहि तन्नः सप्तशृङ्गी प्रचोदयात्। ॐ आदिपराशक्ति सप्तशृङ्गी जगन्मात्रे नमः। तव चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये। ध्यायामि आवाहयामि स्थापयामि पूजयामि समर्पयामि प्रपत्तिं करोमि प्रार्थयामि आत्मानुभवं प्रति प्रचोदनं कुरु कुरु मां रक्ष रक्ष पाहि पाहि त्राहि त्राहि. Every day we are getting this opportunity. Make use of it. Of remembering the same Paramatma in one or the other Rupanama and asking to bless us. These are all the ones which are going to clear all our outer inner obstacles en route to our goal ultimate. Thank you for wonderful participation. Today your participation was good. Keep it up. Narayana. Now the third activity after our Dhyana Purvaka Mantrocharana and the Vedic chanting is the common sense thought. Krishna Vasudeva. Four things. Today's common sense thought. One, just remember beautifully the hearts of the antakaranas of all the beings, especially the human, in the time of this Satya Yuga. How immaculate they were, how pure they were, how clear they were. Isn't it? Of the Satya Yuga, read those books, you will see. Shuddhati Shuddha Antakarana, Kendrikruta Antakarana, Atyanta Sukshmati Sukshma Antakarana, Rajo Rahita, Tamo Rahita, Sattva Yukta Antakaranas. Remember the hearts of the beings at that time. All of them, almost exceptions are always. Secondly, again remember, in the recent past, maybe 100 200 years back, also the people were there with such a pure, innocent hearts, doing only two things. Their own sadharma finished for the survival. The remaining time only in either the social services, somewhat, wherever required. Each were self-sufficient in maintaining themselves. There were big organizations, big plannings were not required. Big organizations required to help the world is a sign that the other people are bewakoof. They are not doing anything. Otherwise, why should anybody help other body if somebody is human being? Stand on your feet. So those were the days, not big social organizations required because all were intelligent. So they were doing their swadharma, minimum any requirement, social obligation, more and more time only in Adhyatmikata. Isn't it? सुबह उठे 6-7 तक अपना सुबह का काम की, go to various fields of work, come in the evening, again enter into their 2-3 hours of Bhagavad Sambandhi wonderful things. कहीं मंदिर में पूजा आरती होता है, किसी जगह हरि कथा होता है, किसी जगह पे भागवत कथा होता है, किसी जगह पे तत्व सत्संग होता है. Isn't it? Wonderful were the days. Just 100 200 years back. Remember this simplicity, innocence, not much disturbed minds, deluded minds with so many of uncontrollable, unwanted, destroying desires. Shuddha antakarana they had. And even now to remember some of the saintly personalities. You know, they may be in the ochre robes, they may be in the suited, booted, coated dresses, the saintly people in the true sense of the pure, immaculate hearts. Wah, pata nahi from how many lives they have matured themselves to be in this state. Antakarana, today's our topic is. Even now they are there. Definitely they are there. You know, some of them we may know physically their forms and all. Many we might have heard or studied. Some we may not know, but still they are there. Some are in limelight, available for our vision easily. Many are there, shy of public, staying in their own gufas, in their own ashramas, in their own simple houses, living their own high quality antakarana yukta jivana. Are you such a pure person with so many great talents, abilities, qualities? Why don't you go into public? You see, if the Lord wants it will happen. I have no extra effort to put. But I know I am living my noble life. How many honest doctors are there? How many purest lawyers are there? How many greatest politicians are there? How many simplest professors and teachers are there with such wonderful antakaran? Krishna Vasudeva. So, three things we told. Now, we were also like that only once upon a time, 40, 50 years back. If we see, we were also simpletons, not so many hassles in the mind. But suddenly, in between, the bhoga vastus appeared, the bhoga asaktis have grown, we became bhogi, and all the divya gunas are gone from our hearts, especially from last 30, 35, 40 years. Therefore, now our minds and hearts are so much impure, so much agitated, so much disturbed, so much negative energy is filled, positive energy is gone. Negative energy filled means we have so much power to scold others, to become angry with others, to curse others. But when it comes to loving others, you know, to console others, to talk tenderly to others, that energy is gone, isn't it? Think practically. How many times you might have scolded your wife or husband last 1 month? How many times lovingly you talked? Or to your own servants? Exceptions are there. That's what I said. Even now some Mahanubhavas are there, like those are in front of me. Definitely. But in general, filled with power negative, zero with the power positive. You know, the bhoga shaktis are so much. That so much intelligence we have used it to procure the vastus from anywhere of the world. But the yoga shakti, that 800 about days we are having this class, some of us have not even bought this book or got this book. श्वेताश्वतरा खत्म हो रहा है but अभी तक किताब भी नहीं खरीदा. See that zeroness of the yoga shakti. And every day we say do the manana. There are some people not even one day they have done the manana of what is heard here. Zero yoga shakti. 100% bhoga shakti. Isn't it? So remember the people of the Satya Yoga. Remember the present people in the world around. Remember, we were also pure immaculate. Suddenly, पिछले कुछ सालों से गड़बड़ हो गया. Knowingly or unknowingly, we were in that flow of that materialism, bhautikavada. And the reasons are for around 1,000 years, we were suppressed, deprived even of proper meal food also because of the invasion of these dushta rakshasas. Isn't it? Suddenly we got freedom. So all the repressions, suppressions expressed as licentiousness. That we being Hindu Sanatana Dharmi, who have to be yogis, we have become bhogi. Think. Now let us go back. Enough of this. Bhogasakti, extrovertedness, which doesn't suit us. We, the human beings in general, Sanatan Dharmins in particular, have to be an example to the world in the yoga, in the Antakarana Shuddhi, in the Antakarana Ekagrata, in the Antakarana Spashtata, in the Antakarana Mastery. Let us, each one of us, again think and restart our process of making our Antakaranas pure, immaculate as it was earlier. सत्ययुगी बनो फिर से अंतकरण को. Same way, observe the great rishis and munis, Mahanubhavas of the past also, even now also they are there as a standing examples for us. है ना? आंख बंद करके आप अपने वाकिफ या जान पहचान लोगों को याद रखो. There are some people who are so simple. There are some people who are so devotees. There are some people who are so committed to their swadharma. There are some people who are masters in the Shastra Jnana. I'm talking about the Antakaranas. Then what is our Antakarana? Anna, am I still continuing to spoil it by my own misbehavior with my own Antakarana? Or should I protect it? Should I respect it? Anna, each of them you take, the mana. What sort of sankalpas the mana should have? What sort of emotions the mind should have? Note them down. Habitually, make the mana should be of the Shubha Shuddha Sankalpas, Tanme Mana Shiva Sankalpamastu, and always the positive emotions. So too, my chitta should be filled with the Guru Ukta, Shastra Ukta, Daiva Ukta, Jnanam. मेरा अंतःकरण है भाई, मुझे इसको संभालना है ना. You know, not taking care of your own children, you try to teach the neighbors. Not taking care of your own शरीर हेल्थ और निकले डॉक्टर बनने दूसरों को दवाई देने के लिए. So too, not managing our own अंतःकरण, blaming the world. अरे सही जॉब नहीं है वो. If I tell outside people, एक बंदा भी improve नहीं होगा. If I try myself to improve, एक बंदा कम से कम improve होता है. Isn't it? Chitta should be filled with. As the other day we said, imagine night suddenly need khula, so in the mind or in from the chitta, a beautiful bhajana or nama sankirtana or any Gita Upanishad sloka, involuntarily, effortlessly, if it is remembered, what more to talk about the divinity? How beautiful. सुबह उठते ही, है ना? Like even though he was amidst all the Rakshasas, born in the Rakshasa Kula, see that Vibhishana according to Tulsi Ramayana, सुबह लेते ही he started doing the Rama Nama. Hanumanji stunned and stood there and made friendship. Sadhute hoina kara jahani, I will meet him only. And really Vibhishana guided him. सुबह उठ के भगवान नाम अपने आप आ रहा है. Now, either my ego comes in my chitta from the chitta surfaces, or my own selfishness, bhoga saktis, or remembering, regretting all the frustrations, failures, miseries, or remember some or the other human being and becoming angry with them. We made our chitta like this. अरे भाई ये healthy चीज नहीं है. So to our third one, the buddhi aspect. Always seeing the good everywhere, trying to bring the goodness anywhere, you know, without even minding the bad, eliminating the bad by only minding the good and propagating that. Buddhi, swashta, everywhere for itself as a sadhana, seeing the tattva, seeing the divine presence. ऐसा बुद्धि होना है ना. For you and I, the students of Adhyatmikata, nowhere anything negative. सब भगवान है बस. Be in that bhavana, Bhagwan alone will be revealed. Even to discuss also, we will not talk negative. उतना time waste क्यों करना, है ना? Like the other day somebody were saying about, I said, अरे हमारे हिंदू सनातन धर्म ही इतने महान है, इसको समझकर अमल करते हुए इसका प्रचार करने के लिए मुझे टाइम काफी नहीं है. Why you tell me about something else? आई हैव नॉट टाइम एट ऑल, मेरे को इतने शास्त्र पढ़नी है, पढ़ानी है, मैं इसमें व्यस्त हूँ. और बुद्धि शुड बी लाइक दैट. देन द अहम, है ना, one side pleased that we are in the human equipment, second side the full of gratitude to the world which is sustaining us, third full of devotion to the higher divinities everywhere, fourth, as every day we are studying in every of the shastras, this aham is slowly, aham is this one, slowly detaching from these three upadhis, this Stula Sukshma Karana, and attaching to the Turiya Tattva and finding the Purnata. Isn't it? These are all to be known consciously, to be done consciously, to be reached consciously, to be experienced consciously, to be established consciously. That's what we are here for. So, mind your antakarana present, get the inspirations from the antakarana of some of the glorious fellow beings of the today and of the past and of the Satyuga. And we were also good once upon a time. सडनली बीच में बीमारी लग गई हमको. याद रखो इस बात को. पिछले 40 साल से, उससे पहले, एज आई सेइंग, 40-50 years back, we were simpletons, we were innocent, we were devotees to our teachers, we were devotees to our parents and grandparents, we were humble, we were really obedient to them, we were at their beck and call. What a beautiful life it was. We were hardworking, we were not craving for anything, not demanding. More than that, free people of so much of joy in the mind. With nothing around, we were joyful inside. Now, with everything around, we are miserable inside. रिमेंबर आवर ओन पास्ट एंड याद रखो पिछले 3 दशक से मैं बिगड़ गया हूं, अब ठीक हो जाओ. व्हाट इज ठीक हो जाओ? ऑलरेडी सेट. माइंड अवर अंतःकरण, राइट, ब्यूटिफाई इट, है ना. दे आर सम पीपल हु नेवर गो आउट इनटू द वर्ल्ड टू सर्व. अपने घर को सजा के रखते हैं, अपने आंगन को सजा के रखते हैं. दैट इट्सेल्फ इज ग्रेट कंट्रीब्यूशन. सो टू आवर घर इज आवर बॉडी, आंगन इज आवर ओन इनर पर्सनालिटी. उसको ठीक कर लेते हैं, लगे रहो उस काम में, है ना. इन दिस वर्ल्ड टुडे, मोर देन स्पीकर्स, दोज हु स्टैंड बाय एग्जांपल आर रिक्वायर्ड. लेट अस स्टैंड इन एग्जांपल्स. somebody is watching, they will learn from us, but whether others learn or not, पहले हम ठीक हो जाते हैं ना. only one mission, let me improve myself. In my antakarana, suitable for the inner pleasure, inner joy, peace, suitable for becoming an example to outside, suitable for my own, the Guru, God's blessings, and spiritual sadhana progress. Om, 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 Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahano Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः. ओम शांति शांति शांति. ओम नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो. ओम यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वम्. ओम शंकरं शंकराचार्यम्. ओम निधये सर्वविद्यानाम्. ओम श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम्. ओम भवयेव भवानिति मे नितराम्. ओम ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदम् परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म भक्ति योग धर्म विद्या आचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः. श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः. संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्वध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिवकृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनर्वाप्ति तेषु निरंतर शास्त्र अध्ययन अध्यापन उपासना यज्ञाग साधना सेवा तपस्या प्रार्थनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातन धर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यंतर शत्रु विघ्न शाश्वत समूल निर्मूलन पूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च शाश्वतरूपेण अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिकहैन्दव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्षपुरुषार्थानां सुसम्प्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सङ्कल्पितसत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयः तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्मसाफल्यार्थं कृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्यशङ्करभाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। ओम नित्यानन्दं निराधारं निखिलाधारम् अव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहं। पारायणम् अथ पञ्चमोऽध्यायः। Can we chant 4, 5, 6? ॐ सर्वादिश ऊर्ध्वमदश्च तिर्यक प्रकाशयन् भ्राजते यद्वनड्वान् एवं स देवो भगवान् वरेण्यः योनिस्वभावान् अधितिष्ठत्येकः यच्च स्वभावं पचति विश्वयोनिः पाच्यांश्च सर्वान् परिणामयेत् यः सर्वमेतद् विश्वमधितिष्ठत्येकः गुणांश्च सर्वान् विनियोजयेत् यः तद्वेदगुह्योपनिषत्सु गूढं तद्ब्रह्मा वेदते ब्रह्मयोनिं ये पूर्वं देवा ऋषयश्च तद्विदुः ते तन्मया अमृता वै बभूवुः. What inspirational mantras, what a informative mantras, what a food for our antahkarana in the right true sense. Yeah, we are into the last chapter of such a sweet Upanishad, श्वेताश्वतर. 2 मिनट में फटाफट खत्म कर सकते. श्लोक पढ़ लिया, लिटरल मीनिंग बोल दिया. But it is so tasty कि is a feeling of missing this one. I don't know, I may do this immediately in another language because of so many topics covered in this one Upanishad, and continuously the Shwethashwathara Rishiji is banging our heart that by know the self, then only moksha, then only freedom from all bondage, then only there is Shashwatattva, then only there is Ananda, Amrutattva. No Upanishad perhaps has, banged the Shrota, disciple or student. Then this Upanishad regarding this important topic. Right now we chanted in 3 श्लोक तीनों बार वही कह रहे कि all the rishis, all the devatas who have known the self, te tanmaya amrita bhavu. They become one with him, they became immortal. One of the worthy Upanishads to be studied every day. Do you mean Swamiji the other Upanishads are not? No, they are also, but हम ये पढ़ रहे हैं ना. Now come to our this mantra bees. Can you enjoy chanting it 4 times? Om yada charmavadakasham वेष्टयिष्यन्ति मानवाः तदा देवमविज्ञाय दुःखस्यान्तो भविष्यति. See how this mantra has to be meditatively chanted is. While chanting this, the meaning literally is already told. Like as much it is impossible by one or many people to fold the Nirakara beginningless Akasha. So too, without knowing the Brahman, the Atman, the truth, the reality, there is no end for the dukkha. This is the meaning. So while chanting this mantra, you should feel. So then what am I doing? Am I pursuing the knowing of the self for freedom from all the dukkhas? Or I am still pursuing the same things which on the name of giving me sukha are going to bind me by giving dukkha only? Isn't it? ऐसा फील करते हुए अपने आप को कोसते हुए अपने आप को ठीक करते हुए ये मंत्र को चैंट करना है. ठीक करना इज टेकिंग द पॉजिटिव संकल्प that from now onwards, not tomorrow, from now onwards, I will be Devajnana Prayatna only I will be doing. Devajnana means knowing the reality. Because in that only Anta of the Dukkha is there. Otherwise, Dukkha will continue like one cannot fold the Akasha. That effort is endless without result. So to getting the Ananda, Dukkha Rahitya, by doing everything else is an endless effort without giving result. Know the self, everything is done. यदा चर्मवदाकाशं वेष्टयिष्यन्ति मानवाः तदा देवमविज्ञाय दुःखस्यान्तो भविष्यति यदा चर्मवदाकाशं वेष्टयिष्यन्ति मानवाः तदा देवमविज्ञाय दुःखस्यान्तो भविष्यति यदा चर्मवदाकाशं वेष्टयिष्यन्ति मानवाः तदा देवमविज्ञाय दुःखस्यान्तो भविष्यति. One of the top shlokas to be kept in the heart, always for positive inspiration. So yada, when charmavat, like a skin, akasham, the whole space is manavaha, human beings, veshtaishyanti, are able to fold. When you can do that, then only tada devam avijnaya, without knowing the self, dukkhasya antaha bhavishyati, the end of the dukkha will happen. Therefore, it is said Gumake in an opposite negative manner. What is the positive thing to understand from this? As much it is impossible to fold an Akasha, so much it is impossible to be free from all the dukkhas without knowing our real self. उसको और घुमा के by knowing the real self alone, sarva dukkha nivritti, sarva sukha ananda prapti. Therefore, the goal of every being's heart called as total dukkha nivritti and total ananda prapti is achieved by every being only by knowing the self, only by knowing the reality, only by abiding in that Brahma Swarupa sthiti. Fixed ho gaya. Why vagueness in this? Why reluctance in this? Why inhibitions? Why hesitations? And who else whom we have to consult to more than our own Upanishadic rishis and gurus who have that clarity, audacity, kindness, compassion to tell us exactly what we have to do to achieve what we have to achieve. अब कहाँ भटकोगे? किसको पूछोगे अभी करूँ क्या मैं? अरे पता है ना? We have to be in this path, achieve it, and tell others why I have realized self. There is no dukkha to me because dukkha is only to me, the jiva. When I identify with the upa, there is no I am nirupadika sthiti, I am in bliss. No dukkha. You do the same. So, yesterday we started studying this most pregnant mantra through the Bhashya with the help of powerful, fantastic. Take time, give time, relax, nothing to worry. Ishakena Kata Prashna Munda Mandukya Taitriya Aitareya. All 80 Upanishads we studied और क्या चाहिए अब श्वेताश्वतर है ये पढ़ रहे छांदोग्य बृहदारण्य के होगा वो भी नो दिस वन लास्ट फ्यू श्लोकास fully be present, grasp, digest. Yada iti. The Bhashyakara says Yada is by time, whenever. He comments Yada as Yadvatu, just like. Yadvatu charma sankocha ishyati. As the skin can be folded and made small. Vyakocham, it is well spread. Sankocham, it is folded. Yadvat charma sankocha ishyati. Tadvat. In the same way, Akasham, the Akasha, which is Amurtam and Vyapinam. Akasha is formless, something which is in form, then that only you can look at it and hold it and fold it. And Amurtam hai wo, second is Vyapinam. It is so much Sarva Vyapi, you cannot find its beginning. So something should have a beginning, something should be substantially seen. Then only you can fold it. So Akasha is beginningless and it is also Amurtam. How can you fold it? You can never. Therefore, if you can fold the Akasha, which is impossible, then you can be free from dukkha without knowing the self. Remember, as इस एग्जाम्पल को ऐसा मत समझना कोई आके इसको लपेट लिया तो दुख दूर हो जाएगा. Not that way. As much it is impossible for the lapet of the Akasha, so much it is impossible to be free from dukkha without knowing the self. The whole Upanishad talks only about the self, directly or indirectly or actively or passively. अदर थीम है ही नहीं उपनिषद में. ब्रह्म ज्ञान के अलावा उपनिषद टॉक्स नथिंग, याद रखो हमेशा. है ना? तदा देवम अविज्ञाय, without knowing the self, tada at that time dukkha syanta bhavishyati, one gets freed from all dukkha. When charmavad akasham veshteshanti, when one can fold the space like one can fold the skin or any mattress or any of the bed sheet. हो गया? अब देखो, व्यापिनम यदि वेष्टयिष्यन्ति संवेष्टयिष्यन्ति मानवाः. So yadvat charma sankochayishyati tadvat akasham amurtam vyapinam yadi veshtayishyanti samveshtayishyanti manavaha tada, then only devam avijnaya. Without knowing the self, one can be free from dukkha. That is which is impossible. That devam is explained here. Why this devam is said this way here? Therefore, we must know no, what is the self, how to realize it. And if not here, where is again the repetition required to explain about the goal, the Devam? So Devam, who is that Devam? First, Jyotirmayam. What you have to realize is the pure Jyotihi, the pure, immaculate, ever present, eternally present, always present, conscious self only. Devam, literal meaning is Jyotirmayam. And which Deva, which Jyoti it is? You know, each of the Upanishad in each of the context, 100 ways, 1,000 ways they have explained. Every explanation is a pointer for us to contemplate and reach to. Experience is the goal. To experience it, pointer. Like yesterday we chanted Mundaka Upanishad, Divyo Hyamurtaha Purushaha Sabhahyabhyantaro Hyajaha Aprano Hyamana Shubhraha Hyaksharat Paratah Paraha Divyaha Amurtaha. You know, that Upanishad said in that way. Each Upanishad indicates. Here also, that first Devam means Jyoti Swarupam. And that Jyoti is of what type? Jyotirmayam Anudita Anamistamita Jnana Atmana Avastitam. This is such a powerful contemplative sentence. Every sentence of Upanishad is so contemplative. Every bhashya of the Upanishad is doubly contemplative, because through the bhashya understanding only what is said by the Rishi from his experience, being in his experience, we will be able to apprehend, which is our goal. एक एक शब्द सुनिएगा. अनुदिता, not arising. Anastamita, not ending. Jnana, pure consciousness. Atmana, as the self. Avastitam, permanently established. So that Jyoti, which is permanently established as my own self, my own conscious self, which is Anudita, because it was never there for it to have the Udaya. Anastamita, it can never end only. Other jnanas, like the Bauddhika jnana, it is Udita and Astamita. Aindriyaka jnana, Udita Astamita. In जागृत स्वप्न है तो उदित है, निद्रा में जाओ तो अस्तमित. But what about this Jnapti Swarupa consciousness? It being eternal, it is never born, it is never ending. It is never rising, never setting. It is always there. Therefore, Devam Jyotiswarupam Jyotirmayam Anudita Anastamita Jnana Atmana Avastitam. So, this Deva is already Avastitam. It is Avastitam as Jnana Atma, as an Atma and Jnana Swarup Atma, which is Jnanam, which is never awakened, never rise. So, thought knowledge coming, going. So, what is that consciousness which is witnessing the absence of thought, arrival of the thought, stationary staying of the thought, disappearing of the thought? Something is within me which is continuously monitoring. That's called as Anudita Anastamita Jnana Atmana Sthitam. And in this pure conscious self, it's not of any of the Dehadi Upadhi, no. Therefore, Dehadi Upadhi Sthita. Lakshanas, which themselves are bondages, they are not there in that self.
As an example, one Lakshana is said. What is it? Ashanayadi asamsprushtam. So Ashana Pipasa, then Jara Roga, then Shoka Moha. Stula Sharira problems are the Jara Roga Mrutyu. The Pranamaya Kosha problems are Ashana Pipasa. The Manomaya Lakshanas are Shoka Moha. Bauddhika Samasyas are Jnanam Ajnanam. Ahankara's problems are Karta Bhokta. So the Ahankara ka Karta Bhokta, Buddhi ka Jnana Ajnana, Mana ka Shoka Moha, प्राणमय कोश का the asana pipasa, indriyon ka craving for the world, shariras, old what do you call old age, disease, death. None of these are there in that self. They don't touch him because he is not any one of them. That is a powerful sentence. Asanayadi asamsprashtam. है ना? Then param atmanam. That param atmanam is two ways to be taken. One, param means supreme self. That bigness to that self we have to give. That's the meaning of param atmanam. The other meaning is param means the ultimate atman, which can never be said as an atman to discover something else as atman. Like the annamaya is an atma, but that can be rejected and we say pranamaya is an atma. And manomaya is also there, which we can say as atma, rejecting pranamaya. So too Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. Each of them can be felt as Atman, but on deeper analysis, they can be rejected as not self. But this pure self, finally, this Chaitanya Atma, it is an Atma. It can never be rejected as an Atma. There is no Atman beyond it. That is the meaning of Parama Atmanam. This Paramatma, Paramatmanam avijnaya, without knowing him. Without knowing him, don't get caught up in this Shankara's way of thinking by wrongly understanding it. Without knowing the Atmana means like you fold the Akasha in the same way, which is impossible. So too, without knowing the Atmanam, one can be freed from the dukkha. That's the main sentence. We said it 200 times already, remember it. So such an Atma, avijnaya, without knowing him, dukkhasya अंतः भविष्यति. Which are the dukkha, sir? Adhyatmika, adhyatmikasya, adidaivikasya, adibhautikasya, adidaivikasya, dukkasya, antaha, vinashaha bhavishyati. So, without knowing that Atman, end of the dukkha will happen if you can fold the Akasha. As much folding the Akasha is impossible, so much is impossible to end the dukkha without knowing the self. Therefore, dukkha can end only when this self is realized. Devam, Jyotiswarupam, Anudita Anastamita Vijnana Atmana Sthitam, Ashanayadi Vivarjitam, Asamsprishtam Param Atma. Without knowing him, dukkha, Adi Daivika dukkhas are the natural calamities. Adi Bhautika dukkhas are the miseries coming to us from the fellow living beings around the world, in the world around us. Adhyatmika dukkhas are the Sharira, Prana, Indriya, Mana level dukkhas of old age, disease, senilities, all of them. From all these dukkhas, Anta will happen only when we know the self. If we don't know the self, the dukkha of all these levels will end just like you can fold the akash. No, I can't fold the akash. Then dukkha will not end without knowing self. A typical way of saying, very interesting. Some places in Upanishads, even Purana Itihasas, to convey to us confirmedly the language, examples, or way of expressions are done like this. The rishis do that. Okay. Therefore, the thing is Atma Jnana Nimittatvat, Atma Ajnana Nimittatvat Samsarasya. Now here we have to pause and ponder for a minute or so. Very, very important sentence. This we have done hundreds of times in all our previous classes. एंड आगे क्लासों में भी 2,25,342 बार यही बात कहेंगे क्योंकि इसी को जानना है. व्हाट इज दैट पॉइंट? आत्म अज्ञान निमित्तत्वात् संसारस्य. ओके, बी अटेंटिव. Samsara means continuous struggle for happiness and continuously getting the result of misery. Samsara. And that samsara is our struggle to get happiness, again from the world of objects, for the sake of our upadhis. And who am I? Sopadhika jiva. See, be conscious about it. Dehendriya prana mano buddhi tadakmya jiva ayam. Picking out the happiness through Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasa Gandha gained of the world, things and beings. But are we becoming permanently happy? No. But are we stopping our efforts? No. This whole thing is samsara. Now, instead of sorting out the issues outside, any intelligent doctor, any intelligent negotiator, any intelligent person to bring compromise. What is the intelligence? Going to the root cause of problem, isn't it? Going to the root cause of the problem and sorting it from there is alone is a permanent solution. है ना? Now the root cause of the world, the war that is happening in West Asia. जाओ उस root cause में, है ना? Of all the three, what's Israel, what is US, what is Iran, है ना? In the interest of the universe or the total globe, what is wrong they are doing, what is right they have to do. अब root में जाओ तो set कर लो. All of the mistakes. Some don't accept it, because they are trained like that, fanatically trained. Others are not able to digest it. है ना? Ultimately, every country, when it is selfish, then only all problems will come. When in the outer world, when you look for the universal goodness, inside you do whatever is good, which doesn't harm the total, then you are safe, your contribution is good. I'm indicatingly telling, I know, I'm not putting the words in the spashtata, but I know what I mean. Here also, the root cause is Atma Ajnana. I am that Atman which is already full, which is already bliss, which is already Ananda, which is already free from all limitations. Not knowing this, Atma Ajnana, becoming Nimitta, cause for the entire samsara. The Jiva Bhava, the Upadi Tadatmya, the Jagat Satyatva Bhranti, then Jagat Prapti Kamana, then Jagat Prapti Hetu, Karma and Karma Phala. All of that are starting from the Atma Jnana. See how blind we are in our intellect that we don't want to analyze it, we don't want to understand it this way. That is a Maya, that is a Moha, that is a delusion, that is the meaning of Pashyanapi na Pashyati. He is told 100 times but doesn't want to understand, accept. This one sentence, if we can digest again. What is that? Atma Ajnana Nimittatvat Samsarasya. Samsara is continuous dukkha, continuous struggle. What is the nimitta of this samsara? Atma Ajnana eva. Atma Ajnana. Therefore, what is the moksha? Atma Jnana only. Take this point home. Atma Jnana eva is the hetu for moksha because Atma Ajnana is the only hetu for samsara. इतना क्लियर हो जाओ भाई इतना उपनिषद सुनने के बाद. नहीं है तो अगले 10 साल भी हम सुनाएंगे मेरे लिए भी आपके लिए भी. In one sentence, the highest truth he revealed. But are we ready to catch it? है ना? In this world again, be attentive not to criticize anybody or find fault with anybody or comment on anybody, label on anybody. Remember, all the so-called beings or Mahatmas are making the means as the goal and making the people forget the goal itself. Your yajnas, your yagas, your upasanas, your dana dharma karma. How many great Mahatmas are propagating all this? Hundreds of them, thousands of them. But the question is, are they the means or the goals? है ना? Or through them also as the means, what is the goal? Any Mahatma preaching dharma, preaching bhakti, preaching yoga, preaching values, preaching decency of the world, everything is preaching. But if he's not telling that by through all these, you have to get Shuddhi of Antakarana, with the Antakarana Shuddhi, you have to seek and search and realize and still establish in your real self. If that Mahatma is missing this sentence, he has misguided the people only. Because they take the means to be goals. The whole world is of Hindus. So much of these things they are doing. Sometime out of sentiments that I am Hindu, I have to do, otherwise I'll be lagging behind. Various reasons they are doing. But महाराज ये सब मीन्स है, गोल नहीं है. पहले गोल जानो. Goal is आत्मज्ञान only. But who has the guts to say that? Only few who have sought that, who have reached that. The others have a fear because मेरे खुद को ही आत्मज्ञान लक्ष्य करके स्वीकृति नहीं है, तो how can I tell the people? Therefore ये करो वो करो भाई अल्टीमेट गोल भी बताओ ना. Think about it. Only the great giant saints like Shankara vehemently, strongly they say, whatever you are told, even by the Shastras to do, all are the means for Antakarana Shuddhi. With the Shuddha Antakarana, the only goal is the establishing in our real essential self. Because in that only there is moksha from all samsara. In the absence of the Atma Jnana alone, the hetu for the entire samsara. Atma Ajnana Nimittatvat Samsarasya. We have to open to this knowledge because we have this great Rishi Muni Parampara, the Shruti Parampara in which it is told. That's what we ask again. How many thousands and thousands of times we had one to one talk, one to three talk in our life? But how many times we even took this topic, यार कुछ भी हो जाए, till I know the self, there is no moksha. एक बार कहा कि हमने, अरे, and what are we doing? Only talking about artha and kama, artha and kama, artha and kama, sometime by mistake about dharma. Hare, they are all means. Moksha is the goal. And dharma alone is the means for antakarana shuddhi, and tattva jnana from the Guru's grace is the goal. Artha kama are never should be given value. They are the mistaken purusharthas. बट हमने एक बार आपके बेटे से कितने बार बात किए होंगे विथ योर वाइफ एंड हस्बैंड. चौबीसों घंटे बात करते रहते हो ना. How many times we feel to seriously tell to her or him and talk, now here's the time, these are all upadhis, there's self behind, let's realize that in that only there is moksha. Which boss told subordinate? Which husband or wife shared with each other? Which the academic teachers have told the students? If by mistake one sentence also any of the teacher tells professor to the student, beta ye sab theek hai, but you have to be spiritual. Enough. He will be sentenced only to death. It's a secular country. See that Narayana in the constitution. How can you teach Hinduism? अब उसको अंदर कर देंगे, डिबार करेंगे कि वो एक बार भी कहा बच्चे लोग तुम आत्मज्ञान करो करो उसी में मोक्ष है. कह नहीं सकता कोई. See that sad tragedy and paradox that's happening. Okay, in school and colleges, they have their own limitations. Government has its own limitations. You and I, as heads of family or parents, what obligations we have? What problems we have? Why can't we make our children, grandchildren sit and tell them very clearly, the Jagati Shabdasparsa Rupanama Rasatmakaha is Vishayas. This is your Sharira, this is your Antakarana. This is how through identity you have become limited Jiva. That's how you are deluded to seek the happiness outside which never comes to you. The self is within you. That is of the nature of Satchit Ananda. Upanishads are the authority and they guide us. Study Upanishads, realize self. 2-5 मिनट कभी बोला आत्म अज्ञान निमित्तत्वात् संसारस्य। भाई कुछ भी पढ़ाओ, आत्मज्ञान नहीं पढ़ाया तो कुछ भी नहीं पढ़ाया। कुछ भी जानो, आत्मज्ञान नहीं जाना तो कुछ भी नहीं जाना। समस्या हल नहीं होंगे, समस्या बढ़ते रहेंगे। टुमारो विल कंटिन्यू। ब्यूटिफुल। यावत् परमात्मानम् आत्मत्वेन न जानाति तावत् तापत्रया विभूतो मकरादिभिरिव रागादिभिः इतस्ततः कृष्यमाणः प्रेततिर्यङ् मनुष्यादियोनिषु अज एव जीवभावमापन्नः मुमुह्यमानः संसरति. These 2, 3, 4 sentences again give the essence of entire Upanishad, entire Vedanta Jnana, Tattva Jnana, to be heard, contemplated, understood, digested, accepted, and lived and established by us. Let us see tomorrow. Thank you. Om 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 Purnamadaha Shruti Namaha Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Fulfilling day. Continue with our Gita study. Come.